Hello everyone, just getting set up here. Give me a second. Just trying to get my computer all set up. We're going to be working today on with the Ornate Thanks and the Ornate Style bundle. And my computer is not behaving. I hope I am facing the right direction. I'm just trying to check on my computer here. Hope you guys have all had a wonderful day. I know that we have had sunshine today for the first time in a long time in Chicago. And there we go. And it looks like I am in the right direction. All right, so let me share this real quick. And we will get started right after that. Thanks for being so patient with me as I figure out all this Facebook stuff. This is my official third Facebook Live, and I'm hoping that I'm doing an okay job. So, hi there. I think I'm all set now. So, this bundle is available right now. Demonstrators were allowed to pre-order it a month ago, and now customers can. And it's a really beautiful bundle. It comes, you have all sorts of combinations, but it has two different stamp sets. So it has these beautiful flower clusters and some swirly for corners and decoration. We'll be using some of those today. And it has a really beautiful script set that has some large serif images and then some really beautiful scripty words that you can use underneath. So those are part of the set, and then each one comes with its own, I'll take those out, with its own dies. And unfortunately, I don't remember which dies go with which stamp set, but I will have that on my blog post. So here is the dies that go. They're beautiful frames, and we'll be working with those today. And that's called Ornate Layers die. And then the other die set is called Ornate Borders. And it has some really nice, unique images, and we'll be using some of those today. It has this long string, and these flowers can be layered on top. And then a kind of a daisy chain. These beautiful flowers we'll be working with today. This nice border, as you can see, I've used it already. It's still has the little black pieces in there, and a really, really nice edge die as well. So those are the dies. And here is the paper that goes with the stamp set. So it's in mint macaron, rococo rose, old olive, and there's a new color called bumblebee, which is going to be one of our new in colors, and then whisper white. So that's the, we'll call it the A side. On the B side is got lots of beautiful foil. So old olive and gold foil, mint macaron and gold foil, white and gold foil. This is 2 tones of terracotta tile. Old olive, like a tone on tone, small print, and then another gold foil and white. So we'll be playing with this quite a lot. I would love to see this colored. That would be beautiful. And we're going to work with some of these B-sides on our cards today as well. So as part of our Team Stamp It, we were able to participate in a swap. And I got some beautiful cards yesterday in the mail from our swap. And so I've taken some of the ideas that I saw there, and I'm going to be kind of putting my own spin on them. So hopefully you'll like the cards I'm working on today. Our first card is a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of old olive. And the one thing I don't have is my bone folder, but we'll just make do. Then I have pieces. I have, terracotta tile and So Saffron. That was the other color I was missing. Sorry, So Saffron with the green foil, green and gold foil. So we're going to take our adhesive here. Even this side is beautiful. We're going to layer the old olive and gold foil on one card. And we're going to place it kind of in the upper corner. Okay. Then we're going to take the other flower, which is, I think this is the bumblebee color, but don't quote me yet. It looks like a daisy flower. We're going to layer that on the Rococo Rose. And I think I miscut this, so I'm going to get my paper trimmer real quick. So the dimension here is, on the base layer on the So Saffron, is 2.5, and the green is 2 1/4, and this is 4 1/4 and 4 1/8. So we have an 1/8 inch border. And this one, I didn't quite cut right. So we're just gonna take a quick little, if I had my cute little paper trimmer, I would use that. But I also can't find that right this moment. So we're going to use that. Take our little snips and clean this edge up a tiny bit more. Okay. So we're gonna pop this layer up on dimensionals. Oh, and before I do that, I wanted to add some stamping with Versamark on the edge here. Just to give it a little extra interest. Okay. So we added that. We're going to add our second panel. Slightly offset. Then I took the third largest stitched shape, and I'm going to stamp on there in Rococo Rose. Thanks. And in Old Olive, it's gonna say my friend. Thanks, my friend. I think everybody could use a little extra thanks right now. And I love the photopolymer stamps because they're so much easier to line up. I'm going to close my stamp pads. And I have a piece of, I keep calling it Rococo Rose, I'm sorry, terracotta tile. And we're going to lay that across the center of our card here. So I have some mini glue dots. These are the best working with ribbon. Let's just take some of those, add them to our ribbon. Trim that off the end here a little. All right, and since I had one side popped up, I'm only going to need to put Stampin' Dimensionals on one side of my stitch label, and the other side I'm going to glue. So it'll lay down on the card. Thanks, my friend. And then, I don't know about you, but these champagne rhinestones have been one of my favorites. These are in the mini catalog, and they go with the Parisian suite, but I think they really go with everything. And then just to add a little interest on the inside of the card, we're going to take that same Versamark and that same stamp set, and we're going to stamp it on the inside. Let me bring in my little stamping pierce mat, which is what I should have done initially, but you know, we all live and learn. So that just adds a nice little border on the inside, and that is our first card. It was inspired by a card from my friend Tony Sheehan. She's my my travel companion when we go to some of the Stampin' Up events. That's one card. Here's her sample, and here's mine. Slightly different. All right. So next up, We're going to be working with some of the dies. And basic black cardstock. So we are using the green Old Olive foil paper, a piece of Old Olive with the, which I didn't show you, I'll bring that back around. There's a really beautiful, here we go, embossing folder that goes with this set. And it's got really tiny flowers and stems. I hope you can see that. Maybe you can see it better with the black background. So, and it's really quite nice and goes with the pattern of the paper. But you could really use it for anything. So, I have Whisper White inside. We'll lay that in there first. Okay. And then bring back my Stamping Pierce mat. And I'm going to stamp in the corners with Old Olive. I'm just going to do the two opposite corners just to give it a little more finish on the inside. It's a little smudge, but it'll be fine. Then we're going to take our die cut images here. And I did all the die cutting in advance because nobody wants to see me die cutting. I love how it looks, but it is not always super quick. I think we got all the little pieces out there. And then I'm going to cut this off. As you can see, this die is a little bit longer than 5.5. So you could use it on a even a little bit bigger of a project. It's probably 6 inches long. Or you can die cut it multiple times. So I'm going to line it up. And I'm going to take my paper trimmer again and just cut off a little bit of this. I keep finding little pieces that have not come out. Okay. So we're going to very carefully align. This is what I love about the new paper trimmer, that it has more stops at the top. So that gives me a little bit better. And I want to try to see how much I have on this one. That looks about, oh, that looks pretty even. I think this one maybe I need to trim too. This is the one I have for the bottom. You'll see that in a second. Okay, that'll work. Oh, it's a little trimming, but it's worth the effort because this card is going to be very striking. So we're going to take a little bit of glue along the top border, and then just a few little dots along the way. It's okay if it's a little loose. We kind of want to give that raised edge look. And the liquid glue is helpful because oops. Try that again. Okay. Let's trim that. Okay. Now we're going to do the bottom edge of the same card with the same die and the same paper. So what have you guys been doing on your Sundays? Everybody have, I don't know about you guys, but I have been doing a lot of cooking. I made the old family recipe. We do black beans, which is quite a long affair usually, but since I've been home, I have time to sit and watch the pot. So I made those. I made key lime pie. We've made banana bread, brownies, of course. I have 2 boys and my husband, so they like baked goods. Well, who doesn't like baked goods? To be honest, everybody likes baked goods. So line that up on the bottom of the card. And then trim off the edges. So even that's just really fancy. But then we're going to take our old olive and fits right in there. And this piece is 2 inches by 5.5. And we're going to put that center piece on dimensionals. All right, put that on dimensionals. Then there's another one of the border dies. Let me see, what set is that from? From the Ornate Borders die. And this one, we're also going to mount on dimensionals. This is going to have a couple layers of dimensionals. So I have had really good luck running this through my Big Shot without too many issues. You do have to poke out some of the pieces, but it only takes a second, and your pick tool makes this process very simple. You do get little black pieces all over, or whatever color it is you're cutting, but that's okay. Really adds a nice look. To your card, almost there. I'll poke those all out next week before I do my class. So we're going to lay that on top with some additional dimensionals. Actually, I think I'm going to add, this is, there is a combo pack of ribbon that goes with this set. in terracotta tile and old olive. And I'm going to use some of the terracotta tile to add should have done it before I mounted my center piece. So do that instead of the way I'm doing it. Instead, I'm just going to wrap it around to the back. And I'm going to use some of the glue dots, mini glue dots, to hold it down. I have that. And then we're going to take one more glue dot. All right. Well, I didn't do that so well, but that's the back side. No one's gonna see. Add a couple more dimensionals on there. We're going to add that to the center panel. And finally, we're going to take our Stamparatus, and I have this set up. What I love about the Stamparatus is that you can do two different pieces. So I'm going to turn this around. And this is where I had cut my labels from. This label also comes in the Ornate Garden Bundle. This is not from the Stitched Rectangles. If I get that in there right, then I'm gonna take some Memento Black, Tuxedo Black. And that is From the Bottom of My Heart. And so we'll take this one off. And we'll bring in the main sentiment, which says thank you. Clean that a little bit with our There we go. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. So much easier with the Stamparatus because it's a pretty thin sentiment and you want it to line up just so. So I'm just gonna glue that down. And there is our second card. So here are 2 cards for today. You could actually add, there are some lovely gold rhinestones that go with this suite as well. Unfortunately, I can't seem to find mine. Hence why the champagne foil ones are my happy substitute today. But you could add the gold rhinestones in the center of the flowers. I'm going to add the champagne ones. Add a nice contrast. It's a pretty fancy thank you card, but right now I know there's some people that are really doing a lot extra for us. So whether it's your neighbor that's going to the grocery store for you, or in my case, my husband is the one who's been braving the wilds. If anything needs to get picked up or dropped off, so I should really give this to my husband. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And thanks, my friend. So these are our 2 cards today. This is from the Ornate Thanks Mega Suite, which is going to be in the annual catalog. And so you'll see the flowers, the words, and there's the 2 die sets and the embossing folder and paper and gold gems. So all of this will be available on my online store, and I'll have pictures of my cards up so you can take a look. If anybody has any questions, I will make sure to come back later and check them out and respond. And I hope you all have a great evening, and hopefully we will see you here again next Sunday. Thanks so much. Bye. Oh, and this is Lily, by the way. I don't know why I just didn't say that until now. AKA PaintedLadiesJournal.com. Thanks so much. Have a great evening. Bye.